Hello survivors, welcome to a brand new Soulstone survivor video. Today we are on the Arcane Weaver. We are going to be using their legendary weapon. As you can see, it's a really cool looking weapon. Unfortunately, there's no stacking damage skill on it. We got Fractured Volley, which works the same as Arcane Missile or Fiery Missile, just with Disarray. And then we've got Chaotic Swirl, which just applies Disarray to enemies on impact, and it has the Chaotic trait. So we're going to go and skill chain into our skill mastery chaos, which will be manifestation of chaos, which is the the Chaos Walker's weapon or skill. And then we got Arcane Missile, Arcane Slash, and the Ancestral Protector, or whatever it's called, for the Necromancer. Unfortunately, we have tried this and it does not work, or it just doesn't seem to, unless you, maybe if you're very lucky, you can get enough damage quickly. But because of the way that the skills work, I don't see it being a very good Titan build. Unless, again, very lucky, or unless you take your time. But with lower Titan difficulty, it will be easier. I think the problem with high Titan difficulty is, like, you're very squishy. One enemy, any enemy that hits you is going to, Vin Diesel you, which is not very exciting and not something you really want to see. So here we are, we're going off with this. We want to try and get as much disarray as possible, because that's the whole point of the skill, the manifestation of chaos, and that's going to allow us to do the most amount of damage as well. Now, with regards to runes, we did go synergetic with multicast mastery. That's just going to allow us to cast the skills more often. And then we've also got the advanced tactics, even though we are going to have brittle in the build regardless. And just for some some cheeky critical strike chance, we've got ourselves the vulnerable target, because our crit is quite low. But the weapons themselves actually have quite a lot of critical strike damage. So we want to try and get some critical strike chance out there as much as possible, just so we've got that opportunity. But here we go, we got one of them over there. We don't need the damage for this, but I'm not going to get rid of it just yet. Multicasting, pretty good. There's Arcane Missile. I don't think we need those yet, so we'll just grab this. More Disarray. And then we're just looking for Arcane Slash. We could grab other things like Arcane Orb would be pretty good. Anything that's got a really low cooldown. So Arcane, it's not as low as the other ones, but oops. This is very unfortunate. So we're just going to have to grab something else. Maybe we'll just grab this. If we can get a slow, then we can go... Actually, we don't need a slow, but slow actually will give us... a slow on hit, and then we can go slow to disarray as well, which will be even more disarray stacking. So it could be a little bit of an evil plan over there. We did actually get it, so there we go. Now we just need to try and get slow to disarray, or one more slow stack. Evil plan over here, working out. I mean, totally what was planned. Still not getting the skills we're looking for, and not a lot of critical strike chance either. But as soon as we start removing unnecessary passives, we'll start seeing all the skills we want to see. Unfortunately, because of the way manifestation works, you do want to try and stay close to the bosses so that you are able to hit them with as many as possible. Also, the skill does make it quite difficult to see everything else in your visuals or your vicinity, but a really cool looking skill otherwise. And it's another reason why we're doing this on a low difficulty. It's just to kind of have a look at the Arcane Weaver's new legendary. So this is more of an exploration build for the Arcane Weaver. Don't need area there. Arcane Knowledge is very good. That's going to give us critical strike chance to these skills. There's the slow to hypothermia. So slow to disarray. We can now get rid of the Ice Vortex, and every time we do slow, we're going to be doing damage, doing disarray as well. So it just gives us even more disarray stacking, and that's going to allow the manifestation of chaos to do even more damage. So pretty cool. Now we just need to skill chain from Arcane into the... From Arcane into Chaos. So we've got all the skills we need. Grab the movement speed, cast frequencies are what we're looking for. Remove all the damage. Don't need the area of effect. And even multicast we might not necessarily need. get our crit chance to 100%, and then look for damage, arcane to chaos damage numbers, or just damage on the manifestation of chaos itself. The only thing about the skill is you can't see Jack. So if we were on Titan Hunt +8, like we over there we just got hit. If that was Titan Hunt +8, we would have lost one of our lives already. So that's like the biggest difference. That's the reason why we don't really want to do it that way. I do want to get that crit for cold, and we get chaos to swing, which is not what we're looking for. So we're going to banish it. We don't have Divine Legacy. Divine Legacy obviously will be really good here as well, but I thought we'd try using some different runes. Synergetic helps to get those Arcane to Chaos skills and upgrades, so I thought it would be quite fun to use that now instead of something like the usual that we go for. These are what I'm talking about. So we actually get 16 times 3. So we're on 24, instead of just going by 8, it increased it by another 24. So really cool. Alright, cast frequency is an upgrade for the skill, which is great to know. I wasn't sure if it was or wasn't. Better, it's actually better for me to say that I wasn't 100% certain. So I don't think it gets area of effect then. Okay, we might as well add a bit of crit there, and we can grab multicasting there, and more cast frequency. For bossing, we'll probably turn down the visuals a little bit, although I've already tried to test it with visuals down, and I don't believe it. Actually, this boss is easy. We don't need to drop any visuals. Pretty easy to see what the boss, what happens. Okay, 700 stacks, 800 stacks, 1000 stacks of Disarray. The tick damage isn't as high as we'd like it to be, but anyway, we do manage to find ourselves a goblin, which is perfect. And we are level 39 already, so we should get maybe 20 odd levels plus. Let's just try Arcane to swing, also not what we're looking for. I do want that damage, so we'll grab that, but I wanted the magnetic as well, so that's what we grabbed. Increase the critical chance of chaotic swirl. I don't understand why that's a power up for it, but we'll grab that. Maybe there's something we're missing about the skill that we've overlooked. Cast frequency. I want the multicast, but right now we need magnetics. As many as humanly possible. As many as the game wants to give us. I am grabbing the upgrades for things like our passives, because they do actually help quite a lot. Crit damage increases, of course. How much magnetic do we have? We've got 90%. I'll leave it at that for now. Obviously, we can pick up more, but it's whatever. Get rid of the damage there. A legendary damage increase will take, because that affects our manifestation of chaos, which was on 31 damage. It's now up to 58. So let's lock that, take the damage. It went up to 61. So even grabbing powerful strikes can be very, very good. 96% critical strike chance, 120% critical strike chance over there. We can grab the exposed on hit from Mhyzahet. We don't need another Disarray to Disoriented, and we've actually got quite a lot of critical strike chance on our skills now, so you're going to see we rip through enemies, which is fantastic. And we also don't need to worry about things like devastation from the Kobold Brothers, because we don't run that as a rune, so we can't even get it. Okay, we'll go for the damage and cast frequency. General damage upgrades, again, are going to be very good because they do increase the damage of the manifestation of chaos. So I wouldn't recommend removing it, but you can, because there is a damage upgrade for the skill. If you're running a devastating blow with this, then I would say remove the damage upgrade for the powerful strikes, but because of this, that 10% does make a difference. So we go from 62 to 64. It's just additional damage, guys. That's per stack. It all adds up. So extra damage is extra damage. I think it's well worth it, especially when you get the rare ones. And it's an increase to damage to every single one of your skills. So it's an overall damage increase. So definitely worth taking, especially when you get the blue ones that give you 25% to everything. So keep that in mind when you're playing. There are times, like when you're playing singular skills and you're able to get the passive upgrades specifically for that skill, that you can remove powerful upgrades. But when you're playing six skill slots, to me it is worth keeping it, just so you've got that extra additional damage increase chance. We haven't seen Disarray on crit yet, which is whack. Where is the next objective? Down here, there's two. We're getting shafted again by the RNG on the game, not giving us what we're looking for.
A gift? No, an invitation to fight. Step by step.
We can grab HP, more Disarray, and more of that. The slow to Disarray is good again. And let's see where else we can go from here.
Momentum is power. Keep moving.
There's two twos down here. We only need one of them. But that's good. And then for Mhyzahet, I am going to turn down the visuals just so we are able to see the sandstorms and the attacks. Otherwise we will be in a little bit of trouble. But I do love how the skill works. That looks really, really cool. Okay, we don't need any more slow or anything like that. Just cast frequencies and everything else going on there. Alright, Mhyzahet. Let's go. I mentioned we just want to kind of we nearly lost a little bit of HP over there, which is unfortunate. And then I don't have rerolls. Great. We made a mistake here. How do I not have rerolls? I don't have reroll mastery. Oh no. No. Okay. Oh well, every time you cast any skill, you have a chance to gain form. I guess we'll go for form. We do have very low cooldowns on our skills, so it is actually worth it. And then I guess we'll go Midorahk and we'll try a second time to get Mhyzahet's exposed on hit afterwards. Ah, we don't have any more rerolls. Okay, so I used them like a little silly person. Unfortunately, I didn't actually realize that I didn't take reroll mastery. A bit of a mistake on my behalf, but we did need the relevant skills, so makes sense why I didn't have it. It's not like I need it anyway on this difficulty, so. And we are actually getting a lot of form, so we are sitting on 163% critical strike chance.
Step by step, the hunt takes shape.
Critical strike chance, get the critical boost there, cast frequency, there's the crit that we're looking for. And just look at the mess that this skill makes. That's so cool.
Fragment claimed. The Titan feels it too.
Unfortunately, you can't really... I mean, you can see the manifestation of chaos running around the place, but besides for that, you can't really see anything with regards to the skill. This swirl attack kind of takes over the world. It's actually really cool with so much multicast, what it looks like. And the way they've made it vibrate like that is because it deals damage on impact. So if they made it spin around like they did for the Ray of Doom or any of those, they kind of do damage the exact same way where it's on impact. So they had to kind of make it so that the damage gets done that way. Okay, I don't really want the chaotic boosts, but of course we can't really do anything about it because we don't have rerolls, so we kind of got to go with what we've got. So there's the Arcane to Chaos. We get Area of Effect. Maybe we could go Bleed, but without rerolls, it's a very risky thing to do. And no more banishes either, so it's actually better not to do it.
Power surges. Momentum is power. Keep moving.
Alright, there's a 3 right here by the boss.
Fragment claimed. The Titan feels it too. The way.
Okay, damage increase there. We'll go the area rather, and then a damage increase for that. Over here we do have to lower visuals because there are going to be a lot of negative effects all over the place. Shouldn't take us long to defeat. There we go, perfectly fine. And we get no, every time you cause a critical strike you have a chance to gain Aptitude. I guess we're going for that. I'm not doing Brittle to Colossal, we don't need it. But it's going to be interesting to see how much form and aptitude we actually receive or get on the character because of, you know, how much crit we've actually got. So let's take a look. So far, not a lot. We do gain a lot of form, but the critical damage isn't high. But like I mentioned, the weapon itself does have a really high... actually, we are getting quite a lot of critical damage. It's not so bad. Okay, just lower. I mean, look at this. Even if you go to 60%, it really doesn't feel like it changes. Maybe it's just the color. Maybe the color needs to be changed a bit so you can differentiate between the boss's attacks and your own character's attacks. Because right now they kind of all look the same, so it doesn't help. You think, oh no, that's just my attack, and then you lose your whole life pool. And you're like, that in fact was not my attack. I don't want to do you. There's 2 3s over here which we can do.
Momentum is power. Keep moving.
Damage increase. This is the main skill upgrade that we're looking for. Of course, if we can. We got a lot of critical damage, quite a decent amount of crit chance, but we want more crit chance. 200% is a good spot to be in when you're not running a crit build. But since we do have, you know, crit to aptitude, we do want to have as much of that as possible. We did nearly lose a life there, but luckily we didn't. Grab some HP. We also don't even have that much HP. I want to lock these. Those are both good, but we lost the Chaos to Arcane, but that's okay. We're looking mostly for Arcane to Chaos, not the other way around.
Through the Dawnstone we ascend.
Alright, no rerolls and a dream. Oh, we got it. Okay, fantastic. So we got exposed on hit now. That's beautiful. We're sitting at quite a lot of damage. A decent amount of chaotic as well in the build, which helps. But let's see what happens here.
The portal beckons.
Get ourselves to the Void King. And there we go, through the portal. A little bit distracted my side, don't stress too much about that.
Balance must be restored. So begins the final battle.
Let's see. Actually, when you've got the visuals down a little bit lower, you can actually see all the Spectral Guardians, which is nice as well. which is unfortunate because they're quite a cool skill.
Void fragment secured. Soon, all will collapse.
There's 3s this side, so we'll go do those. That will put us to 9. I think we got lucky there and managed to defeat them just before they used their attack.
Fragment by fragment, the spell will break.
There's a lot of mana crystals on the floor for us to pick up as well. Luckily they don't disappear immediately, so they stay on the floor for a relatively good amount of time. So we can actually go and pick them up and get a bit stronger. Gives us more multicast chance, it gives us more movement speed and more damage, so and area of effect actually. We've got a 2 over here. Getting a lot of tentacles today. But that's much better than bosses. So not complaining, just pointing out an obvious observation.
Void fragment secured. Soon, all will collapse.
And we've just got this one to do over here, and that will be the Void King. Well, first the Corrupted Void Hunter. Also, we got a lot of points to put in, so let's go and do that. Disarray, obviously, multicasting, HP and defenses with cast frequency and such. I guess we can grab another slow to Disarray. It doesn't really matter too much anymore. Actually, I don't think the upgrades actually matter too much. We're at a point where our damage is kind of really good regardless, so I don't think it matters whether or not we pick up those things. I can just randomly select anything by now, and we're just so powerful that anything and everything's just gonna get wrecked. Area, amount of mana gained, whatever. Alright, Arcane Weaver, let's go. Arcane Weaver versus Arcane Weaver, which one's stronger? I am, of course. Okay, no rerolls, so we'll take the damage and no movement speed. We don't need the movement speed. And now we'll just be against the Void King fight, so let's go. What's nice is Manifestation of Chaos bounces. So by us standing behind the wall over here, we can bounce it between the wall and the Void King. So it's actually like a little bit of a not a cheat, but a good use of bouncing skills. A little bit different when he's in his final form, but there you go. So absolutely defeated the Void King. It was pretty good, but again, it is pretty easy when it's on a much lower Sigil of the Void. Not something you can do unless you get like everything up as quickly as possible. It's very difficult to do this on a higher Titan level. Like I said, I did try the +8 Sigil of the Void and just struggled completely. But otherwise, you guys can let me know what you think about the build. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. And always remember, keep safe, survivors. Until next time, cheers.